Sorry about that. Had a little glitch. Anyway, yeah, so it's called MUSICA and MELODIA, and it's such a beautiful kit. Let's just get right into it. I'm thinking I have them out of order, but that's okay. It's just because I've looked at them a few times. So I cut the edges off already, but like, look at how beautiful those ladies are. And there's so much stuff going on in these photos. Like, we have workers, and we have, like, there's just so much. Anyway, there's that one. Let's just get on. You know what happens when I start oohing and on over paper. And then we have the blue tone with the music. And there's flowers. I mean, it's just lovely. This is one of my favorites. Sorry. The piano keys at the bottom. And there's some like very light text. Looks like a coffee stain. Love that. And then all the flowers with the music. So, yeah. And then here's the next one, the two birds. And what's nice about this is you can use them as covers, like a front and back cover, if you would like. And then you'll have, you know, because there's, oops, you see it's like mirror imaged on either side. So that's wonderful, because you have your birds, and then you have your oh shoot, I can't remember what that's called. It's not a violin. It's anyway, I'll figure it out. But yeah, just pretty. And then look at the beauty of this page. Like, look at her and the butterflies. Oh my goodness, it's precious, that photo. I just love that. And then we have this one with I love the black with the colored pretty flowers in behind. It's just gorgeous. And then this one, oh, look at that. Is that stunning or what? So vibrant, the colors. Yeah, wow. Wow, Antonio. And then we have some tags. And tags are great. I mean, you can use them just as tags. You can cut them down. He had a project the other day where he took two of the tags and put them to each other and made them one whole one as a bookmark. That is a fantastic idea. But anyway, so you have all your images from your papers on the tags, just magnified a bit more, which is so fun. And then here's the other one, and she's on there. That's just super. And then I like how there's just a piece of the butterfly. It just looks like the butterfly's flying away, and just a portion of him was caught. So fun. And then this. These are like little, they look like those fabric doilies with collages on each of them. But how fun are those going to be to use? I can't wait to get started. I do have a project in mind, and yeah, we're going to get to it. So if you want to craft along with me, let's just go through what my plan is, and then you can grab your supplies and stuff that you need. All right, I took 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'll use this as my pieces to show you, because you know, I could end up making more than just one of these. So your first piece you'll leave is just 2 pieces of cardstock, 65 pound. For this one, I only had 2 pieces of 110-pound cardstock left, so that's what I used for my base. So what you're going to do is, one, you're going to leave at 8.5 by 11, and then your second piece, you're going to cut it down to 10. So let's just do that. So then you have a piece that's 8.5 by 10. Blech. You'd think that wouldn't be so hard to get out of your person's mouth. But there you go. And of course, I didn't grab my scoreboard, so just bear with me 1 second, and I'm going to grab it. All right. Okay, so a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, they will figure out your little marks. I don't do that. Why stress yourself out with measurements? So we have it 8.5 by 10. Your center is 5, right? So the little tick before the 5, I score. So the little tick before the 5, and then the little tick after the 5. Score. So you have yourself 2 little score lines, and this will be your gusset in the center, right? Okay. So for your 8.5 by 11, 5.5 is your center. I'm going to just move it down. 5.5 is your center. So again, you're going to go to the little tick in front of it, in front of your 5.5, and score. And then to the right of your 5.5, that little tick, you're going to score. Simple. You don't have to work out the numbers. Why? All right. And then you have your 2 lines, and then you have your gusset. That's simple. That's done. Okay, I'm hoping that was pretty straightforward for you. Then all I did is I folded them in. Give a good crease. Grab my bone folder. Just like that, because you want to have a nice crisp lines. And then when I first did it yesterday, my paper wasn't even straight, like to begin with. Like I didn't square them up or anything. So, and then you have your little gusset in there, just like that. And you'll do that on both pieces. Okay, so then what you end up with is this. Let's take this off. I just added a couple little things there just to get some ideas on what to do. Excuse me. So then this is the 8.5 by 11. This is the 8.5 by 10 with your scores. Okay. And then what I did is the shorter piece is on my left. 8.5 piece is on my right, and I'm going to lay it on top of my other piece. So essentially you're going to have this and this, and it fits together quite nicely. And then what I'm going to do is I'll cut a notch in here, but first I want to paper everything. And because it's going to be a top pocket, like I'll line it up before the score. I'm just going to put a dab of glue because what I want to do is sew it all around the 3 sides here like that. And then I'll have a thumb notch here so that whoever knows that it's a top loading pocket. So I'm hoping that this is pretty clear. Like it sounds pretty clear to me too. So I'm hoping that it's okay for you. And if not, please leave me a comment, message me, and I have no problem going through it again. And I probably will go through it again as we go, just so that the measurements are clear, but it's very straightforward, I hope. All right, so then that, I just kind of set that aside, and I thought, well, let's have some flaps and pockets, just a couple things, because we are going to add a journal into this. So inside this gusset on our small one, I'm going to add a journal, but that won't happen until we get this put together first and papered and made pretty, and then the journal will come in before we do anything else. But I just grabbed another piece of paper and I cut it to 8.5 the height by 4.5, and then I scored the half mark, and then I mitered the corners just like that. And then I took the short piece and I just kind of hung it on there. And I have it over. You can do it this way and fold it in there if you want, but I decided to put it over so that will essentially become a flip. And you can add pockets. I mean, there are a million things that we can do with this, and this is just a couple of ideas. I mean, when these two pieces get sewn together, I mean, the ideas might change or evolve, you know. And then these two little guys were just some scraps, and let's take the paper clips off. I just have this piece. It's 5 1/4, and I believe that's the width of oh, that's the short one. It's the width of our big piece on the right hand side. Either side will work because they're the same size, and it's by, so it's 5 1/4 by 3.5, and I thought that could be a pocket. Why not? And then this one, I did it the exact same width, and then I just cut on an angle a height, and then I thought, well, that could be a second pocket. So we'd have a pocket here and a pocket up here. Like, why not? You know how much I love pockets and tucks and all that goodness. So I thought that would work. And then I'm just keeping them clamped together so I don't forget. And then, so that'll be pockets. And then we have a flip, and then when we come again, then we can, you know, decide if there's going to be more pockets and tucks or whatever, because we have a lot of goodness to work with. So if you want to craft along, grab your cardstock, you know, do your scores, and grab your pretty paper, all the stuff you need, you know, glue, scissors, cutter, scoring tool, and yeah, we'll get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my papers to size, and then we'll come back and then we'll make some pages pretty. I'm not going to do any sewing or anything right now. I just want to basically get I want to get the two bases ready. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have some paper cut. I didn't attach anything because, you know, we want to put some flips in and stuff like that first. So before gluing, I better decide that. And then, so I just cut out some of the pages. Let's just see if I can move this stuff. I won't lose sight of the sizing because the one's bigger than the other, right? So what I did notice though when I was cutting out the paper, because they all have a white border. So when I cut the white border down, of course, it was a lot shorter than the 8.5. So what I did is I cut the base down to 7.5 for the height. The rest is the same, just the height, instead of being 8.5, is now 7.5, just to allow, otherwise there would have been this huge amount of space. And I don't mind seeing the craft cardstock, I just didn't want to see all of that cardstock. You see what I mean? So I cut pages for the one part, and then these pages are for that. So this ends up being 7.5 by 10 instead of 8.5 by 10. And this is 7.5 by 11. For the length is the 11. So, all right, so we've got that. So then what I did is I just kind of, it might be one page short, but that's actually, I'm not. I've been confusing myself too. So if I'm feeling confused, I certainly hope you have not been. All right, so that's the bigger half. So I'm just going to get all those papers out of here. All right. Okay, so we have our small half and our large half on the right. And what I'm going to do, I didn't ink anything. This is really the constructing of it. And then we can get everything else going. So I've lost my, oh, never mind, retract. I thought I lost the pin of my needle, but it was like right there under all the cardboard. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is the half that's going to go down. It'll be like this. So I want to put a notch in here. But before I do that, I'm going to add a piece of paper to this one, just to this center one, because that's what's going to get glued down. And I don't want to cut out a notch and everything when it's attached already. You see what I mean? So I have this beautiful little image here, and I'm going to glue her down, and then we'll do the thumb notch. Just, for me, it makes it easier just to do it like that. Anyway, I hope you are all doing good. We started out today with a beautiful bright sun. It isn't sunny anymore, but at least the temperature is not in frigid sub-zero temps anymore, which I'm so grateful for, because boy, it just got so cold here. So there we go. We'll just add that. And so then you can add your thumb notch. It just makes it easier to me, for me, you know. So I'm just gonna cut that out, and then it makes a nice thumb notch, and then you don't have to worry about recutting the paper or trying to work around it. And then I'm just gonna glue the 3 sides, because ultimately that'll be our pocket. Okay. I can hear coffee being made. All right. So just try just to get the edges and the corner. And I'll put enough glue in case I decide not to sew. Like that's an option of whether you do or not. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't sew. Most times I don't sew up the pockets either. But at least we know the option is there to do. And then I'm just going to line it up just to our score mark there. We don't want to go over it, because then that will interrupt the, oh, and I didn't need it there. So that was an oops. So I didn't need to go to the edge, I forgot, because our other page is shorter. So sorry about that. So it'll just be, and this part, if you sew it, then it'll all be sewn up there, but I want this to be a pocket. So when this gets sewn, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Nope, I'll glue it all together. Thank you. It actually won't work. Just scooch that out of the way. So that's my error. So I'm just gonna add glue to the edge here because it's like, oh yeah, there's already gonna be a pocket there. We can't make the side a pocket too. That didn't make any sense. So there we are, just like that. So don't glue up this edge. You'll glue this shorter piece of paper. So my apologies for that. So you're gonna glue here and the bottom of this one. That's probably the easiest. Like I should have put the glue on the short one instead of the bigger one. So then we have this so far. So everything's looking good. And I have a little bit of overhang here. I'll trim it up. It had been even before, but you know, sometimes you cut and things go a little wonky once in a while. For me anyway, I don't know if it's the same for you, but yeah, so that one's straight. And then I have just a little bit here. Might as well do it now, then it's out of the way. So there we go. Just like that. So then that's straight. Okay, and then when we have our two pockets, they will be put here. And you can make them shorter, of course, because see, now she's going to disappear. So in that case, you can, like if you really like the image on your paper, then you can do this and then add your pockets here. You can give them a decorative edge. You can make them shorter. You know, you can make your pockets a lot smaller if you want. So I think I'm just going to trim some off actually. And I think I will put them on the side. Like your pockets can be put anywhere you want. It's like it's your choice, right? So they're a bit shorter. And then they can go here. And like you can use the decorative edge or just put in your thumb notches after you dress the paper. So I'm gonna add this one. So really the construction of it is 2 pieces of cardstock. And then you make your decisions of what your paper's gonna be, if you're gonna have pockets and tucks, you know, if you're gonna add in your journal before anything else. You know, it's all creator's choice. You are the creator of what you're making, so it's all up to you. And already it's looking lovely, right? So then it'll be, you have your flaps, you have your pocket back here. Now, I was just trying to decide if I actually do want that there. Like we're going to have a journal here. So it's kind of nice to have something a little extra right there. So what I'll do is I'm going to add my paper here. And then this is quite lovely. I didn't ink anything, as you noticed, but if I decide to ink, I'll ink it up this part at least after it's together, just because really it's in I'm in decision mode. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think I will put the flip there. And you can go crazy with the flips. You can add a flip like we're going to do here, and then one coming down, coming from the sides. You can do all of that. Like, how fun would that be? And you just use all your cardstock and then just make it all pretty. So just like that. And then our flap little piece here that we scored. And then because we made our base shorter, this now comes to the bottom, which I quite like that. So I'm just going to grab, let's see what I have here. I have a scallop and a stub punch. These are from Michaels. And then I'm just going to do that to the bottom. Should I do it? Yeah, and again, I'll do it after we have put paper on, just because I don't want to have to recut. So these are going to be a little bigger, but the nice thing about these is you can trim them up, no problem. So let's see. So hopefully you are enjoying this, and I hope it's been making sense. And like I say, if not, please message me, leave a comment down below and let me know, and then I can go through stuff. So my measuring, I just have it a tiny bit away from the edge, and then again at the bottom I do the same thing, and then I know where to cut. And if you're using your X-Acto knife, you do the same thing, just use your ruler and then cut. There we go. Just set that aside for a second, and then we can just add it right there. Just like that. Oh. When the glue decides to work. Here it comes. Just making sure I get all the corners and the edges. If you have a glue spreader, like an old credit card or a piece of cardboard or something, use that, and you can just fan the glue out, and so that you know it's where it should be, and it goes right to the edges. There we go, just like that. And then I'll use, you just pick whatever corner you want to use. This is the scallop, just like that, and it just puts a little decorative edge on the bottom. And then I'll bring this in. Oh yeah, that'll look sharp. And then I'm just gonna put, whoop, flinging paper everywhere. Yep, so I'll pop glue on the inside, just like that. And then I'm going to center it up as best I can. And then you won't see this edge because it's going to get covered with paper on the other side here. So this side will be covered up with other paper, just like that. Pretty, pretty. If it decides it's going to glue. There we go. So once we get the base done, and dressed, then when we come back, we will, you know, do the signature part of it and do the tags. We'll decorate tags and we'll make some ephemera pieces for it. There we go. So we have everything done now. We're just finishing trim, and then we're going to do the tile in the bathroom, and then we can finally relax and enjoy it all. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, there we go. So we'll just do this. So pretty, like, wow. And I know there's been some of you that have gone over to Antonio's shop and checked out his kits and stuff, so that's awesome to hear. Thank you. And just remember, if you do purchase any of his kits, if you use my special code Brenda10, Brenda all in capitals with the number 10 with it, then you will get 10% off of your purchase. I mean, how awesome is that? Like, that's just so exciting to do that, because you benefit, I benefit, like we all benefit from that, and then you get beautiful kits as well. And that's a definite bonus. And then that one's a little shorter, but I'm going to use it. I mean, you can add lace down the edges, trim, washi tape, you can do any of that stuff. So I'm hoping this video is not too long for you. I just wanted to get the base done with you and dressed with you, and then yeah, we'll come back for the rest of it. Oops, bring it up a little. You have a second at least with this glue, not too long, but just enough so that it's not drying on you before you have a chance to move it where you need it to be. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna snow, but it says it's only -2 out. But it's windy, 50-kilometer-an-hour winds. I mean, oh my, but that's Alberta. I'm in Alberta, as you know, and the weather can be hot and sunny 1 hour, and then the next hour snowing or pouring rain, oops, or something. So yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness, that's just lovely. So there we have that, and it just happened that they ended up side by side. But that's going to be our front piece. So it's going to go, once the journal is in there, this is going to be on the inside, and then this is on the outside. And then this will be our cover that we can make pretty. And yeah, you can add paper to the spines if you want. And you don't have to stop here. You can add flips and flaps and pockets and tucks. And I was going to use this, but I'll use one of the other pieces and we'll dress the pockets. And I think I'm going to add the pockets right here. And then, so we'll have 2 pockets. We have our giant pocket inside here. We have our flip. And then I think we'll put a corner pocket here or something on this side. And then, oops, we'll pop some paper there. And even on this, you can add tucks and pockets. You don't have to stop. And on here, tucks and pockets, I mean, it's limitless. Like if I hadn't have added this paper, I could have added another flip out, like to the side. So it could have been here and then flipped out. And you know, I might just do it. I don't know. I could add it to the inside here and then just add a pocket, like a side pocket underneath. So let me just show you what my idea is, just with this piece of paper. And why not? It's nice to have a visual. So I could add, say, this piece, and it would be a flip out. And then you can add a longer piece of paper here, glue it down 3 sides, and have it as a tuck spot, so that the piece of this isn't showing on your paper. And then you can have more pockets here, more pockets on the front piece. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, so we're going to leave it there for today. And any questions, comments, anything you have, let me know. And if it's like, if I find that I'm getting a comment or two about the measurements again, then I'll quickly come on and we'll do a specific video just for that. Or I can even put in the measurements in the description. I might do that for you anyway, and that way, if those are your questions, you'll see it. And if you're visual, I'm visual, so it's a lot easier for me to see. Then when we come together again, we'll redo it just for the measurement's sake. Okay? All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're able to craft along. Thank you so much for being here. I think I'm at 800 subscribers. Like, I am just so in awe and so grateful and so thankful for each and every one of you. I mean, the more this channel grows, the more giveaways happen, and I can keep bringing you the stuff that you like. If there's something you want to see, let me know. I'm more than happy. I have a suggestion book that I made, and I've been putting suggestions and ideas into it, and we've been drawing from that as well. So you guys take care. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Have a very blessed rest of your day. Take care. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye for now.